What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including the truth revealed behind Jade Cargill, Big E to play Peacemaker, WWE planning out Drew McIntyre's return, is AEW being petty, is Dustin Rhodes returning to WWE, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlelamia XL. And now let's see the intro and get straight into our first story. Our first story looks at the truth behind Jade Cargill. At top of today's news are conflicting reports on Jade Cargill's medical condition. Cargill was recently written off TV with a backstage attack, and it was initially unknown whether Jade was actually hurt or if there was a storyline reason for excluding her from competing in Saturday's Women's War Games match. Now, two news sites are reporting different stories, with each sticking to their story. Let's look at the reports as well as an additional one filed in this week's Wrestling Observer. PW Nexus, which previously reported Cargill was hurt, tweeted, "Apologies for the frustration earlier. Trolls got the best of me during a rough day. We're not going anywhere. We stand with our report that Jade is indeed injured." However, PW Insider's Mike Johnson reported on the 28th November that PWInsider.com has been told by multiple WWE sources that while there's been some incorrect reporting floating around that Jade Cargill is legitimately injured, that claim is 100% incorrect. He added, "We're told that the attack on Cargill on last week's Friday Night SmackDown was all storyline, nothing more." The conflicting reports led to some fans questioning which report was actually true. While some so-called news sites are known for shoddy reporting or even manufacturing news, and we're not accusing either of these, the reality is that legitimate news sites rely on sources. Then they decide what the source's track record is and either report it or don't. Indeed, when a fan asked PW Nexus about why there were conflicting reports, the news site replied, "I would assume people get information from different sources. As we've always stated, we report what we are told, just like Mike did over at PW Insider." But Dave Meltzer also provided his take on things, reporting in this week's Observer, "We're told that Cargill is expected out of action for 3 months or possibly longer. We've gotten 3 different versions of the story from those in WWE." He then broke down each scenario and how they match up with different reports. One was that, as usually the case with WWE parking lot attacks, that it's a storyline cover for a real injury. However, this one has been kept secretive. One person in WWE mentioned to us that it seems like likely nobody, including her friends, knows what the injury actually is or why it happened. Another higher-up said 100% that she is injured and the stories denying it are false. One of the most interesting scenarios is that the injury is being used to deal with backstage politics. Another version is that the injury was created to cover for a political backstage issue. For this story to be accurate, the Cargill and Belair tag team would have been broken up to give credence to that one. If the team is put back together, that would refute that story, but if it isn't, that would lead credence to that aspect of it. At this point, fans will have to do what they do in case of any conflicting reports, judge each news site's credibility and decide which one to believe. Even then, news sites are known for getting stories wrong. Do you think that this is an actual injury, or is it just a storyline? Let us know in the comments. Next up, Big E's role in Raw. There's more rumors concerning Big E's appearance at this Monday's New Day 10-year anniversary celebration on Raw. We noted in Thursday's news video that Big E is expected, and now PW Insider is reporting that Big E's appearance on 2nd December is confirmed, but just what he'll be doing is unknown. But the PW Insider report suggested that the New Day strongman might play peacemaker between Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. Kofi and Xavier need someone to talk sense into them, as last week's Raw showed them one step away from trading punches. Pro wrestling is notorious for taking a celebration and turning a happy moment into a hellacious moment. Consequently, New Day fans are anxious to see whether the celebration show would lead to Kofi and Xavier mending fences or starting a violent feud. Next up, WWE planning out Drew McIntyre's return. But where's Drew McIntyre, and when will the WWE Universe see him back in action? McIntyre, who's been absent from WWE TV since losing his Hell in a Cell match to CM Punk at Bad Blood, was reportedly taking time off, but now PW Insider is reporting that the WWE is preparing for his return. The report states creative is throwing ideas around for Drew's return, and while there's nothing carved in stone, the fact storylines are being pitched suggest a return is imminent. It'll be interesting to see who Drew works with after his war with CM Punk, a feud that took up much of 2024. Would you guys like to see Drew return at the Royal Rumble as a surprise entrant? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, SmackDown Superstars on RAW. It looks like the 2nd December Raw will be a huge show, not only for the New Day's 10th anniversary celebration, but because it's a follow-up to Survivor Series. A now new report from PW Insider suggests that the show could be even bigger, as several top SmackDown superstars will be present. The only question is whether they'll appear on Raw or appear in dark matches. PW Insider recently reported Cody Rhodes, Solo Sikoa, and Jimmy Uso will be at Everett, Washington, but could there be some follow-up from the War Games match? Although we don't know what role the Blue Brand superstars will play, we do know that several superstars will appear on Raw once the show moves to Netflix. Next up is AEW Being Too Petty. And when will the Lucha Brothers of Rey Fenix and Penta El Zero become free agents? The Real Life Brothers are considered one of wrestling's best tag teams, but they haven't been used much in AEW lately. This and rumors that they'll become free agents soon has led to speculation they could jump to WWE. Well, Dave Meltzer has an update on both brothers' contract status and is reporting Penta's contract expires at the end of the month, so he'd be free to start in WWE imminently. There's nothing new on Phoenix. The last word is that he is not being let out of his contract, but they aren't going to continue to use him either. There are many instances of AEW having talent under contract and not using them. However, this case appears to be different. AEW's decision to effectively put Phoenix on ice has angered fans who question why AEW doesn't just release him. Well, Dave Meltzer suggested for all the complaints about paying him and not using him, and unfortunately WWE set the rules of combat, if you're in a war with WWE and play by different rules, not only do they see it as a weakness, but they'll exploit it to death by going after contracted guys constantly. AEW has consistently complained of the WWE contacting wrestlers under contract and trying to sign them as soon as their AEW deals expire. As a result, AEW seems to have taken a tougher stance with talent, adding injury time to their contract, which is the company's prerogative and something WWE also do. They can also exercise options to keep them in the promotion longer. While the Lucha Brothers are an amazing tag team, there's no reason why Penta can't be used as a single star or even join a faction such as the Latino World Order or Legado del Fantasma. However, joining a faction seems like career poison based on how the WWE has used the majority of its faction. Do you think AEW is being too petty? Is it just business after all? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Carmella WWE Return. Or when is Carmella returning to WWE? The former SmackDown Women's Champion has been out since 2023 when she announced that she was pregnant. Sean Ross Sapp discussed Carmella's status in the WWE during an episode of Fightful Select Q&A, responding to a fan asking if he's heard anything about Mella's return. Not at all. Unfortunately, she suffered from drop foot after giving birth. That could be a tough thing to train through. I always told her she'd be welcome back. And you may recall Carmella has been dealing with medical issues, but Ringside News mentioned Carmella's condition. Drop foot, a condition often caused by nerve damage, has significantly impacted Carmella's mobility and her ability to wrestle. Adding to her challenges, she's also dealing with 2 herniated discs in her back. These complications have derailed her plans to return to the squared circle after giving birth to her son, Dmitry Paul Polinsky, with husband Corey Graves. We're sending our best to Carmella and wish her a fast and full recovery. And finally, is Dustin Rhodes returning to WWE? And last but not least, could Dustin Rhodes end up in WWE, and if so, will he enter the 2025 Hall of Fame? Dustin, who's been in AEW since 2019, appears to have dropped some clues on his X account, clues in which ex-user Zabi pointed out, saying, Dustin Rhodes has removed all mention of AEW and Ring of Honor from his Twitter bio. Is a WWE Return and Hall of Fame announcement coming? Dustin, the artist formerly known as Goldust, has reportedly been working without a contract in AEW. He currently holds the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship with Sammy Guevara and the Ring of Honor World 6-Man Tag Team Championship with Marshall and Ross Von Erich. It's unlikely that Dustin will walk out with the titles, but some fans are curious why AEW has kept the belts on someone who isn't even under contract. Although Dustin is 55, he still looks sharp in the ring, and if WWE does bring him back, it'll be interesting to see whether Dustin wrestles or whether the WWE uses him in another role such as a trainer. A Hall of Fame induction seems like an obvious step if Rhodes returns, but if Dustin wrestles, let's hope his only role isn't getting beat up by Cody's enemies to build feuds. But there you have it folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.